Welcome to Inspire and Move, the show that inspires you to create, connect, and grow. I'm going to bring you meaningful conversations, aha moments, and all the motivation you need to up-level every part of your life. I'm Arianna, founder of Inspire and Move, and your personal hype girl. I've gone from fashion school to celebrity stylist to corporate marketing to brick and mortar entrepreneurship with my husband, each time learning incredible lessons how to pivot, reimagine, and implement the steps to become successful. I am passionate about inspiring others to live their best life, a life of joy. We have the power to design a life that we love because life is too short not to. The best part is that you weren't meant to do this alone. If you feel like you were meant for more, let me ride shotgun with you, and together, let's get you to where you want to go.
Okay, I want to kind of go back for a minute about networking. What would you, if you had to even give some tips on getting in a room from a networking standpoint? If someone was going alone to a networking event and getting in the room, what would you inspire them to do, act, see, say?
Talk to as many people as you can. Just get out there. Go. I would actually encourage people to go alone. I find it's better because you're literally forced to talk to people. Like at your Inspire Me event that you had, a lot of people came up alone, and they're like, I'm like, oh, who'd you come with? They're like, oh, I came alone. And like, I came here to network. So I met so many people that came alone. I thought that was amazing and ballsy, really. Because some people are like really shy, right? But it's like, you want to make those connections. You need to go out there. You need to sell yourself, really. And just be you, be real, but make those connections, talk to people. Don't be shy. Like, they're just like you. At the end of the day, they're just like you.
And then what about from a follow-up standpoint? So you go to this networking event, you meet as many people as possible.
Yes.
What would you do when you get home, like that night or the next morning?
So when I do go to these, I always say, like, I ask them, obviously, like, what do you do, or what got you into like entrepreneurship, or what you're doing, and of course, social media. I always say, okay, how can I support you? Let's support each other. Let's support each other, like on Instagram usually. And then after, maybe I'll send them a message on Instagram, or I'll see like, if it's a realtor or whatever, maybe I'll connect them with someone who's looking for a home, or depends on what they do. But I'll kind of see how I can make that connection work, right?
Mm-hmm. I think that's great, because that was something that we even took away from this past year. The big investment that Matt and I made was this dinner series. It was a multi-event experience in 3 different cities in the US, and it was all about building your networking. And you had this room of like a beautiful setting, a room of amazing people, and the continuous message at all of the different events was how important the follow-up is. And that's like sales 101 is talking about how the fortune is in the follow-up.
Yes.
And this isn't necessarily sales, but there is power in that follow-up between that contacts that you make when you go to these networking events, and what can you extract from that. And so taking that into the follow-up piece where, okay, if you go to an event on a Thursday night, maybe Friday morning when you're having your coffee, or maybe you go to the gym for a 30-minute walk on the treadmill, and you are sending DMs, you're sending voice notes, and really like connecting with people in that 24-hour initial period.
Because you'll never know when that connection is going to come in handy. Like, we just did that women's event, and I connected with some amazing businesses, and we have an event coming up, and they're going to come here, and we're going to support them, and they're going to support us. So it's all coming back together, and it's going to kind of be a nice little reunion as well.
Do you feel like you have kind of come onto a different side? Not that you ever get finished with networking and building community, because I think there's always so much power in building your network and the magic that can happen within your network and the work you can do for it. But do you feel like, for you personally, you can approach a live event, a networking event with a different confidence and energy because you are almost like a bit of a seasoned veteran?
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, going to your events have definitely helped that. And I just, I feel comfortable where I am, like in my business. And I think exuding that confidence like helps you talk about it, right? Like, this is what I do. And, I feel like it's kind of a business that can service a lot of people. So it's like, okay, let's get you in the studio. Have you had any branding shoots done recently? So yeah, I feel like that does help.
And you're almost becoming like a mentor in that as well, that now you can go into these rooms and you can talk to these people that are there for the very first time and almost be that mentor for them to come under my wing. Let me show you the way.
Yes, which is what you've done for me, right?
Perfect. I love that. I love that so much. And I think it's so exciting to really feel the power of your network growing.
Yes.
And maybe that sounds super woo, but when you can sort of feel that you have this expansive network and you can think about people that will benefit from other people in your network, I think there is such a magical sweet spot in that.
Yeah.
And again, that's something that we've been working really diligently on and investing in.
Yeah.
And going back to what you said kind of early on in our conversation, that a lot of this does take an investment.
Yes.
So you could go to an event and the ticket's $100. You could hire a coach that's thousands of dollars, or, you know, live events in different cities, it's different currency.
You need to pay to get into those rooms. You want to connect with those people, with those higher ups, or someone who's super successful. Like, that's what you need to do to expand your community. And like, you want to rub shoulders with, you know, someone who's very successful, because that's who you attain to be. That's like kind of your goal. So yeah, I'm totally on the same field with you. And I think that's, you know, a big area that we connect on.
Absolutely. When we were at the dinner series, it was hosted by Chris and Lori Harder. And Lori had said, I think probably at every single event, she talked about how, you know, being in a room where your dreams are other people's realities.
Yes.
And it's something I feel like I have quoted in every piece of content coming out of the dinner series, because it's like one of my biggest takeaways where, okay, what can I pay to do, or what room can I pay to get into where I will be with 7-figure earners, 8-figure earners, because I'm in the midst of building and expanding.
Exactly.
And I want to be around those people, be around that energy. And it even goes back to, you know, you're like the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Mm-hmm. And I think, which I feel like we could even expand on this, I think that it's so easy to initially hear that and think, oh my God, my best friends or my family. And actually, family is part of that, because you might have like some people that are Debbie Downers.
Yeah.
But being around like me and you.
Yeah, like we hang out
a lot.
A lot.
I say this so often in the gym too, even with like personal trainers and their clients, how like I have a client that I see 3 times a week. Yeah. That is 3 hours a week that we spend with each other, maybe 3.5 when you add sort of like 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. And so that's 3.5 hours in a week. How often do you see your best friend for that?
It could be maybe sometimes once or twice a month.
Yeah.
So you're spending, like those day-to-day interactions. You got to really think about like, who is it that you want to be spending that time with, right? Like, how can you connect? Like you said, you should join the gym because there's just so many connections that you can make there. And you're totally right. Like, that is where, you know, I need to be to make those connections. So kind of getting out of your comfort zone is so important, because I was here, but I'm kind of just like, you know, lonely a little bit here, like in my studio, but I need to kind of get out there and get more in the community. And that's when I realized, okay, I need to get out there. I need to make those connections so people know about me and about my business.
And I think something like, I'm obviously very passionate about the gym being a great sort of networking spot. And that's actually something that we are intentional about with Benchmark, that we're so proud of the community and the members. And like Matt was just telling me about a conversation he had with a member yesterday and learning more about what he did. And it's fascinating. We have the most interesting and most successful people in our community at Benchmark. But that was something that we wanted, because I have heard success stories from that where people change their environment and we're not the cheapest gym on the block, nor will we ever be that. Yeah. But it's something that you're almost investing in. It's an investment in yourself, similar to being in rooms. Mm-hmm. And this is a room. Yeah. But you're investing to be in this gym where you're going to have different conversations than a gym at maybe a different price point or a different experience.
100%. Yes.
And you can make that, like, again, I'm very biased about Benchmark and about gyms, but you could say that for a lot of things. Like maybe you go to a drive-through coffee shop, but instead you're going to invest $6 for a latte and you're going to have it in a cup in the coffee shop because the people that go to this coffee shop are successful, or they're having these different conversations or business interactions. I think that's something that we can really think about when we design our days, our weeks, our life. Yep. Where are you investing your time? What are the environments that you are in? And are those environments and those decisions getting you closer towards your goals and your dreams?
Yes, I totally agree. And also when you say like investing time, being a mom of 2 boys, like that can be really tricky. So sometimes I'm picking and choosing where and when I'm investing that time, because, you know, a lot of these events happen at nighttime. Like I said, I'm like, oh, Ali has another event, which I really want to go to, but it's like, I need to put my kids to bed tonight, right? Yeah. So I find that, and a lot of photographers I feel are, you know, photographer moms, they struggle with that. They're like, how do I balance both, right? So you really need that support system at home. Luckily, I have amazing support system between my husband and my parents. And I'm lucky enough that, you know, okay, I can take off an evening and go and do these events and network with these people, because that's kind of like when it happens, right? So if you're always like, you know, kind of just rushing home, you're not going to make those connections. The connections happen sometimes after hours.
Absolutely. And do you have, like, I'd love for you to chat with me more about the balance and how you maybe even make the decision of what you do go to and, you know, what's a full body yes and what's a hard no.
Yeah. So definitely I feel like the networking, right? Like where I feel like, okay, where am I going to benefit most from this? Is it a networking opportunity? How is it going to benefit me, my business? Is where the priority is going to go. Also, like, who do I want to support? Someone has a big event, like, you had a big event. I need to be there because Allie's there and I need to just be there to support her.
I'm so glad and grateful that Inspire and Move events have made the cut for Charlene's list. But I think that is such a powerful decision to sort of know like what is a hell yes, what is a hard no, and trusting your intuition and following that.
Yeah.
And using that as the North Star to know that, okay, yeah, you know what? For me right now, I'm in the season where networking is really important to move the needle on my business.
Exactly. And that's the time. This is where we're in right now. November, December, this is like the busy time for photographers, but also it's the time to network and, make those connections because 2025 is around the corner. And I know you love goal making.
I do love goal setting.
I got to plan my 3-month calendar ahead of time. So yeah, this is the time to do it.
What are the big things that you're so excited to dive into for a new year?
A new year, new me.
Oh, I love
Hitting
that.
the gym more.
Love that. So proud.
But yeah, just again, like we have a networking series that's going to be happening quarterly. So it's a female-led networking series that's going to be here at Pearl Street Studio. And I'm excited for that to happen. So just making new connections every quarter. We're going to have a co-host. You're our first co-host, which is exciting. So just having different co-hosts, maybe just from different areas. So different people are going to come together. And it's not always, someone, in the downtown Burlington core. I'm having someone come, from like Newmarket, for example. So that even to have their community come here and interact, I think is going to be amazing.
That's really smart. And I think that's a really great strategy of welcoming people in from different communities because it is also, and I think I was having this conversation with someone earlier today, even talking about in-person podcasts, which I love so much for so many reasons, but you get to create great content, whether it is the actual video and audio footage or if it's the BTS kind of playing into the power of content. Yes. But that you get to share it across multiple platforms now because maybe I have people, I feel like now you and I share a lot of the same audience. But if we're chatting for the very first time or co-hosting an event, that you're bringing two audiences together and now you're both growing.
Exactly.
And I think that is a growth hack that people don't talk about enough.
The power of collaboration, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm so excited for that because like you said, like just coming from a different city is going to just bring in different people and it's both of you are going to grow and have new audiences.
When it comes to collaboration, even something like this, would you have any tips to share with our listeners about what are some like action steps if they're like, I have no idea how to collaborate. Where do I start?
Reach out, send a DM, send a text message, just reach out to that person. Have some clear set deliverables that you want to work with that person. This is kind of what the outcome it is and make sure you guys are both on the same page with that.
That kind of goes into the communication piece, or that you're communicating like what you're looking for, or how you can help each other. If it is like, I don't know, you're going referral for referral.
Exactly.
Or if it is like business and something revenue generating or it's content, I think it goes back to that communication piece and just being very clear with what you're looking for. And I feel like I've had this conversation probably even just with myself on some of my solo episodes about the power of the DMs. Like, don't overlook the DMs and sending either written one or a voice note. I know some people send video ones, but being able to connect and
that's where I've made all my connections. Especially a lot of like other photographers, people ask me like, how did you connect, with this person or this influencer? And I'm like, I just send them a DM. Oh, they respond. I'm like, yeah, they're people. They're going to respond to me. Like, yeah, why not? Like, just put yourself out there. People are so scared, I guess, of rejection. Like, what's the worst they're going to do? Say no? Like,
say no, or they ghost you?
Yeah. Oh, well. Whatever. You got to put yourself out there. You just, got to be bold and just ask.
Absolutely. I'm team be bold and ask for what you want. Because, again, it's like the worst thing that can happen is you get a no or no reply.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not that bad. Yeah. Okay, so we're really excited for some big things coming in 2025. You have a whole new season that you're going to unlock in terms of mentorship and hosting events. It's so exciting. And do you have a word of like themed out for the year yet?
Empowerment. Oh, empower her.
I love.
Yes.
And where can everyone find you?
On Instagram at Charlene Ariana Photography or my website, www.charlenearianaphotography.com.
I feel like someone should slide into your DMs. Like lots of people should be sending you DMs.
Slide into my DMs.
Because you are the queen of connecting on Instagram, on the DMs. You are so amazing at anything that's personal branding, collaboration. I'm so grateful for you and our friendship and working relationship. And you're a really great neighbor for Benchmark Fitness as well. Thank you so much for being here,
Thank you.
Charlene.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm so excited to see what the whole year of 2025 has in store for you and for us together.
Yes.
And for everybody listening, thank you so much for tuning into the Inspire and Move podcast. Thank you for being here, and we will see you again soon.
Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this episode, it would mean the world to me if you took 30 seconds and shared this on social media, send it to a friend, or leave a 5-star review. There is power in community, and I am so grateful to have you part of mine.